Hi, everybody. All right, hold on. I gotta lift this up a little bit. I don't know if it's gonna lift. Oops. Oh well. It's not lifting. All right. Waiting for people to come in. So in the meantime, you're just seeing me. Getting this going. Okay. So, waiting for people to come in. I have the chat on this time. I did everything right, I think, this time. I'm going to type stuff in here. Let me see. I'm trying a different time, even though I'm a little late. Hi, Jeannie. I think like 7:30 is easier. How are you? Take note. So I'm doing some live readings and just a little chat. How are you doing? What's going on with everybody? Well, what's going on with you? Stressed about a recent home fire, but in love with my 10-month-old. What? A home fire? What the hell? You have a 10-month-old? Ooh, that's a lot of work, but a lot of fun. What happened? Why was there a home fire? What was up with that? That's terrible. What happened with your home fire situation? What garage went up in flames? It was crazy old electrical. What? Sorry, I just hit myself. Drinking 2 drinks, cold water, juice. Crazy garage went up in flames. Crazy. Wow. That is so scary. That is terrible. My 10-month-old boy is the light of my life, though. So thankful for him. Wow. That is so crazy. I can't believe that happened. I'm so sorry. That's terrible. I just realized it was someone I was supposed to record with. I had the wrong day. Let me message her. So the love of your life. That's but where was the baby when the fire happened? Because that's insane. I have to tell this person I'm going to record tomorrow. Hi. I was supposed to record someone for my podcast, and I gave her the wrong day. I'm letting them know right now. And I'm letting her know that I'm live right now, and I'm typing this to her, to come on my podcast. Oh my gosh, I really screwed that one up. Okay. Um, let me see what you said. I have Hi Adela, hello. Um, I kind of interesting name. I have issues from with fire now, but want to work through it because I used to be something that made me so calm. The repair of the garage has been the worst. My son and I were home. Honey left to get sun. Wow. Well, everybody, I'm talking to Jeannie. I'm doing readings tonight. $15 for intuitive, 20 for medium. I appreciate it if you just use Venmo or PayPal. It's all in the description rather than super chat since, YouTube kind of holds on to stuff for a long, long time. So, I'm not on here or busy enough to do super chat, I've decided. So I prefer Cash App or, I have it in the description. But we're talking to Jeannie right now because she's talking about her fire that she had in her home that is so horrible. What did you do? The fire just like went off into the garage and then you just like ran out of the house? It's just terrible. Not fun. Speaking of my podcast, The House Medium, if you have stories that you would like to record with from school, I saw thick smoke in the backyard with my son in my arms. I put him in our room way away from the garage and went to investigate. Honey got home in time to call 911 and I got kids and animals. That is not fun. I'm so sorry about that. That's terrible. And scary. I'm so glad everybody's okay. That's what matters. Don't worry about the garage repairs. What matters is that you're okay. So, yeah, so I'm doing readings, and if you have any stories to tell for my podcast, go ahead and send them into the house medium at Gmail. I hope you guys heard this week's came out today. Was a doozy, was an interesting one. Definitely was in what I put the thumbnail about aliens, and pretty fitting since I'm teaching a class on this. Um, firefighters got here and put it out, but it was a total loss and we lost everything inside, but everyone is good and we're so lucky. Oh yeah. That's the thing. And when you lose things, um, it's so horrible and inconvenient and devastating because you lose all of the stuff you've built to get in your life, obviously. But um much much worse if you lose people, right? So I feel that that's just like awful. So you can always rebuild, you can always rebuild and get new stuff, but your life would have been a completely different story today if anyone had gotten hurt. Woo. I hope that like if it's an old, I hope that you're getting like something from that. Um, Here, let's see. Oh, Jeannie, got you. I got you. I hope like, compensation of some sort happened. You're gonna do a medium reading. I'm writing you down. Hold on, getting my stuff ready. So like that is definitely most people's fear. I think you just have to kind of be patient with yourself and not worry about getting over your fear. about the whole fire thing because um, that's a doozy. Like, that's a big one. That's a big horrible event that happened. So if it's going to take you time to heal from that, I would be patient with yourself if I were you. Yeah, I put up that thumbnail of alien grays because my podcast episode this week was a very good one about a possible abduction. And you got to listen to hear her story. And sorry, I just got the hiccups. And what I had to say to her. I'm also teaching a class on um, how to connect and communicate with ETs, but the ones that are not taking you. um, Kind of like the concept of the difference between people often don't understand the difference between angels, fays, spirits, and things like this, and like how um, those type of beings actually communicate and connect. And I just love this episode because I haven't really had one like this yet. I haven't had somebody like this yet who tells a story of not only of something that happened to her, but there was a confirmation of, about what happened to her, like right the next day. So it's a really, really good episode, and I would check it out. Okay, Jeannie, you want to do a medium reading since you're the only one on list right now. Um, Yes, we're getting a full rebuild and a rewiring home too, but it's been worse than the fire. Hopefully it's over soon. Take your time. Thanks for understanding. Um, if you, I wanted to know someone's intentions for this weekend, what kind of reading? That's an intuitive reading. Intuitive readings are about you. Medium readings are strictly to visit with people who have died. So intuitive readings are about you and your life and the things you have questions like that about. So that would be an intuitive reading. All right. So, yeah, I understand like rebuilding a home and everything. That is completely a huge, huge undertaking. But, when you look at what could have happened, and from where I'm sitting and the people that I've read, I would say um it's a lot worse. I've heard a lot worse. I wanted to share with you guys that I went to my first haunt, fake haunt, and talked about it in my podcast episode. This one, the alien one. Also happy to talk about aliens and ETs and any questions people have about that. Commentaries, because I definitely feel like out of all the subjects that I cover, if I can talk about demons and spirits and all kinds of things, and people are like, yeah, sure, whatever. But as soon as you talk about aliens, it causes quite a stir online. Like, I will get people completely freaking out and saying all kinds of horrible things to me and about me and what's going to happen to me and what I'm doing is terrible and evil, because people really, really can't stand it. They can't handle it. It really freaks everyone out. And I think it's because when we talk about aliens, we're talking about a different paradigm of possibility of what life is really about. And when you do that, it throws people completely off. So, which is why I'm going to talk about it. Hi, Dale. Love to talk alien talk. Hi, Whitney. Sure. Did you listen to this week's podcast, perhaps? Also, was going to share with you that I went on my first hunt, a fake hunt. And when I went on my first fake hunt, it was much more scary to deal with. You did? What did you think, Whitney? It was much more scary to deal with actors running around and peeking out at me and going around me when I couldn't control them, whereas spirits I can control, you know, that type of thing. So it was much more. I'm just checking to see. It was much more weird to have to deal with the spirits that were, you know, creating a fake spirits than it was. I did actually see real spirits in this place because this place is haunted. It is at an old theater that they were doing this haunt in. So it is like a haunted place, which I may be revisiting and looking at. So yes, we were so lucky, thankful it wasn't anything worse, right? What did you want to talk about, Whitney, as far as alien talk? I just have Jeannie in line right now for a reading. What do we want to talk about? Well, one thing I will say, and I get deeper into this in my class that I'm teaching about this, but there's a very big difference between interdimensional beings and physical beings. And I tend to kind of have only had interactions with those that are not, um, you know, are not in the craft form, more in the interdimensional form, those who kind of pass through time and space. And honestly, those are more interesting to me than the ones that are in a craft, because I feel like the ones that are in a craft are very, you know, I don't know, they feel kind of like a little bit more behind, even though they're light years ahead of us. I'm thinking a lot about the big grays, if that's correct term, and the ones who are more overlookers. Yeah, I think that what people have to realize is that when you're talking about aliens, you need to realize that there is so just as much as we have lit so many different living beings on planet Earth, there are many different living beings in the universe. So whenever people are kind of limiting to like two beings, types of beings, I think it's really odd because that would be like someone coming to Earth and only interacting with a human and maybe a dog and go, that's it. There's only two different beings. And someone's trying to describe, I saw this animal or I saw this being had all fur and was wagging his tail and all this. And I'm like, well, that's really interesting. Did it eat food? Yes, mine ate food. Did yours eat food? Yes, mine did, but it didn't look like that. It was tall and had two arms and stood up. That's what we're doing when we're trying to figure out what type of beings they are. We're basically doing the same thing. We are there is no reason to get into a discussion of who's right or wrong. If you're going to expand your mind to believe there's obviously other beings in the universe, unless you are completely full of yourself and narcissistic and believe we must be the only living beings ever, which is strange to me to think, um, then you are basically going to say we're the only, then you're saying like there's only a one or two type of alien beings. So, as many as life forms, and this is the thing about being human, we get used to living a certain way and seeing things and experiencing things that we forget that this could be foreign to other people, to other beings. So, imagine if someone comes into this planet and they're looking at all of our different life forms. They see fish, they see octopus, they see a whale, and they're trying to figure out how do all these things coexist, how do they live, how do they live the same, how they live different, and that's how I see those types of beings. That's why the ones I've seen have been tall and blue, not short and gray. All right, so let's get to Jeannie since she's the only one who's signed up so far. And Jeannie, when you're getting a reading and you're getting a medium reading or an intuitive reading, either one, just let me know if you're getting a medium reading. When I call upon you, be ready to say, I want to talk to my, my grandmother on my mother's side. You don't have to give me a name or the backstory because I'll talk to the person. I'll be able to pull the, you know, be able to pull them, talk, communicate with them. Also want to let everybody know that this weekend, this Sunday, I'm doing a spirit circle for so all of you who might have taken classes, who have practice all with me at all, talking to spirits. This is going to be fun, lighthearted. This isn't going to be like, let's get into the heavy, broken-hearted parts of spirit communication. We are going to be practicing online. Everyone's going to practice in what they see. I'm going to, of course, spearhead it and help everybody. But you guys are going to just kind of like jump around with each other and help each other, see what you see. And this will be on Sunday at 12 o'clock p.m. PST, Pacific Standard Time. And it will just be fun and light. So bring your favorite drink. You can dress up. It's kind of Halloweenish, where we're going to keep this one light, where everyone's just going to practice what do they feel, what do they see with each other. So I'm really looking forward to that. All right, Jeannie. She's going to tell me who she would like me to connect you to. Who would you like me to connect you to? And so while we're waiting for her, if anybody has any questions about anything, because I'm happy to do chat. And all that. And so the overlookers, I would call those the watchers, Whitney. Those are the ones I call the watchers. Nicola, hi, Dela. Can I ask an intuitive question about my mom? I'm kind of worried about her happiness at the moment. Oh, yeah, of course, Nicolette. Of course. Oh, so sweet at the same time. I love how loving you are with your mom. Yes, the watchers. Yeah, the watchers are ancient alien beings, and they kind of watch. I always make up my own terms. That's okay. Um, I kind of feel people have made up the watchers too. I don't think anybody came and told anybody, hey, just so you know, we're called the watchers. I feel like the watchers term comes from people realizing there is a type of alien beings that don't interfere with this world, meaning like they don't tell us, they don't interfere, and they just kind of watch. Um, they just kind of, they're just watching and seeing, they're ancient, so they kind of make sure we're following lines. So, Jeannie, when you get a chance, I think your chat is really, really slow. So, if you could just at any time throw in who you'd like me to connect you to, I'm like, I feel like I'm getting her chat like million miles after she's posted it. But yeah, they're kind of like they've been around from the beginning. They've been kind of watching and making sure we're not, crossing the bounds of the rules of this between the worlds. I kind of see them like FBI. You want to talk to your brother? Okay. Have I talked to your brother before? And I'll let you. I'm going to do is I'm going to jump in. I'm going to start talking to him. And since the chat's really slow with you, I'll ask you to confirm things, but I won't wait. I'll just keep going. And hopefully we'll get this rolling. All right, hold on. So the first thing I hear is that he's actually talking about he misses you and he wants you to know he's safe. What he says by that is that his passing was pretty rough and difficult. He said that when he died, he kind of felt like he kind of hit a wall. That's how it feels like. Like it's not like it was sudden, like he didn't see it coming, but when it actually happened, I don't know, I feel really depressed. I feel pretty alone and sad. Um, I don't know, it feels like emotionally things were difficult before he passed. Um, so I'm not sure if I got you, Nicolette. I'm not sure if the chat is gonna catch up enough for you to confirm anything. Sorry, internet was awful, but checks out. Yes. Okay. Did he take his life? I just wanted to ask because the reason why I was asking, because he's talking about struggling, that he struggled with mental health and he struggled with other addictions or something. Um the chat was so behind, but here now he did take his life. Okay. Yeah, so that's what I'm getting because I could feel it. Like when I'm reading, I can kind of be right in the same time and space he was, and it feels pretty awful. Before he died, it was worse. He says once he died, he felt like all of a sudden there was love and grace given to him. um, but he was so sad. He had a baby girl and wanted a life with her mother, and she didn't want him, plus trauma from childhood. Yeah. So he says two things. He didn't leave this world because he doesn't want anyone to feel like it was her fault he left. He said he struggled so much before that, and he honestly doesn't think he would have been the right type of father, um, now that he's where he's at. It was it wasn't when he died that was difficult, it was the leading up to it. It was just he suffered a lot, like, he was constantly barely holding on, and he kinda felt like he had so many people at his funeral. He was so loved, but so heartbroken about everything. Yeah, he never could really feel happiness. So he wants you to know that once he did die, he was in this other world and he felt love and he felt compassion. And he never really had something like that here. He wants people to know that so many people suffer from loneliness and so many people suffer um, from just struggling to feel good. And he wants to give everybody advice, Jeannie. He wants to say, like, you don't have to feel good all the time. You don't have to feel happy all the time. I think he thought everyone else always felt happy and he just was always miserable. But now that he's passed, he realizes that people just struggle much more than they let on. So what he does with his life now is he tries to help people. He wants to help people um, who are kind of in the place he was and kind of get them the feeling of like there is a light at the end of the tunnel. I'm so happy he's happy. Finally, I want all his advice he'd send me. He says that he wants to let you know that when he died, he did have to go through healing and rehab and learn about why his life was so difficult, why he had such a hard time, why he struggled, and he had to really go through evolving. He also says, hold on, something about May, like maybe May 2nd. He's talking about the month of May, the first few weeks, first week in May. He's talking about the month of May. Is that something significant to you? May 4th is when he did it. Okay. Yeah, he's pretty loud and clear. So let's play a song for him, right? Let's see what song he'll pick for us. You know how I do like the spirit, like pick. That's interesting. I don't think this seems right. Midnight Train to Georgia. Doesn't feel like right. It's about someone like moving on and leaving. I guess it could be fitting. Oh. Yeah. He's going back to fine. Yeah, but it's about a guy leaving. You see what I mean? The world he left behind. Not so long ago. It could have a double of meaning because this is clearly about a person who's leaving a life he had, leaving it behind. It could be about what you're saying, but I kind of feel like it's him saying that's what he did, that he left the life he had here. But it could be both. This is about leaving the South, not going to the South. Oh no, it is. It's about leaving LA going to Georgia. Okay. It could be a double meaning. But I definitely feel like it's about, yes, he left this life and has moved on. But I want everyone to know that when people take their lives, they don't look at it like they made a right decision and they did something better. He's very clear that he had to work on himself and he had to deal with what was difficult. And let's not forget, anybody who's going through something, you can call 988, which is the per, you know unliving hotline. But he wants you to know it's not that it's better. It's not that he's feels he went to something better. He's just saying that he didn't realize that he could have been happy and he could have found a way to be happy here. And he wished he could have found it. It would have been preferable, but he couldn't. So it's not a solution. It's just he wasn't in his right mind. And at the time, he thought it was. And so that's why he does help people who feel stuck. Okay, so I hope that helped, Jeannie. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. I wish he knew how to make it better. We miss him terribly, but love that he's helping others. Yes, I know. That's the hard part. And I definitely think that song was definitely him going like, I'm that was at first I didn't get it till I hear the lyrics. The lyrics were pretty clear. All right. Anybody have any questions about anything or want to chat about anything? As Nicolette, I think you made your question pretty clear. You want to know about your mom. And you want to know why. What are you specifically worried about when it comes to your mom? You're worried that she's um just not happy? And so anyway, in the meantime, anybody doing anything fun for Halloween? So my mom has been depressed for almost 1 year now that I've noticed with her happiness in life in general. Personally, I think her husband is just an old grump and job stress. Do you see her doing? Well, what I can do is I can look and see what's causing that. Something different career wise, maybe. Well, I can look and see what's how she's feeling, you know what I mean? Like look at it through her eyes and try to see what's going on. So hold on. Let me see. So it looks like the feeling I get even when you first ask is that she's kind of like going through the motions, you know what I mean? Like life for her right now is just trying to get by and that she's going through the motions. It kind of feels like she doesn't see a lot of like she's not inspired anymore. She doesn't feel like it's not about career. It's not about career. It's feeling stuck. So it definitely feels more connected to relationship than career. Getting a new career, like if anything, she wishes she can like end that part in her life, meaning like she would love to not have to be working and not have to be doing those things. I feel like she doesn't feel like she has any joy. I hate to say, because I know this is your mom, but there's no romantic connection between them anymore. So she's just kind of living with a roommate, and a roommate who's not very fun and not very caring. So I feel like she feels stuck. If you were to talk to her about, hey, mom, I see you. I can see that you're not happy. I could see you don't have to be in a relation. Like if you talk to her in that way, I don't know how much good it will do because she's kind of afraid to be alone. This is the problem. She's not good at being alone. So some people rather be with someone, even if that's making them miserable, than to be alone. You know what I mean? So if you were to talk to her about, you can't just be with someone just to be with someone. You completely see that? Yeah. So I feel like the problem is that she's not willing to look at life and, like, she doesn't, how some people, and I'm sure some of you in here can relate to this. Some people just don't see that life could be fun and amazing doing your own thing, that you don't have to be with someone to go to eat or to go to the movies or to go do things. Some people feel like they can't imagine that. Like they have to have somebody around all the time. So I don't feel like I see her wanting to be okay being by herself. And so that's very hard. You could talk to her and try to get her to understand that, just having a person in your life, and this is a very common thing of women, especially women of a certain age. They kind of get into a place where they're like, having anyone, right? Having somebody in my life is better than having zero, you know. Um So even if the person doesn't make them happy, and I don't think she knows that she could be with someone who could be her best friend. So that's what I think it is. What do you think, Nicolette? And I'm sure some of you can relate to that, right? Like people have done this before. Okay, I will try and talk to her about it, and then I'll convince her to move to California with me. Yeah, see, that's not the solution. See, that's the problem. That's the problem. She has to learn to live her life and be okay on her own. All you're going to do is help her not to do that. You know what I mean? I think you're right on point with all of that. If you do that, then it's a codependency. It's not good for you. It's not good for her. And maybe I was just kidding, but yes, I agree with you. But maybe that could be something later when she learns to do for herself, but do something for herself or create her own life. But she's like, do you think you could talk to her about it? Like, hey, mom, life could be different if you're not with a grumpy guy. And that you don't have to just be with someone for the sake of being with someone. Like some people are just terrified to be alone. So, anyway, anybody have any other questions or comments? I know seems pretty quiet today, but I'm not surprised because Halloween's coming up. Anyone have any fun plans for Halloween? Um so I'm not surprised it's a little quiet tonight. No? It's like I feel like the chat is really dragging, huh? Yeah, in she has talked to me in confidence, but I will talk to her more about it when we go to visit my family after Thanksgiving. Okay. XX Fox I do, but trying to figure out PayPal. Okay. You can also do Cash App or Venmo. Yeah, does anybody have any anyone have any just wanna talk any paranormal chat or anything or about my podcast, The House Medium, or anything else? Yeah, I would try to get her to see that living just being with someone, and I'm telling you, people do this so much. They just go like, "Well, it's better than being alone," which I don't understand because being with the wrong person, when you are with the wrong person, when you're in a relationship and you're with the wrong person, it is so much more hell than being by yourself. Like being with the wrong person in your life is much, much worse than being alone. I mean, 10 times worse. I can't even describe how much worse it is than when you're with somebody who, you like and get along with. And not just that, but like enhances your life. I know people say, like, in relationships, you have to work hard, but you shouldn't have to work that hard. Whenever people say, like, oh, you got to work hard in relationships, you gotta work to in any relationship. If you have a friendship, if you have a business relationship, dealing with other people and having other people in your life and learning their way and you learning their way and they're learning your ways of life, that's always a challenge. That's always difficult. But if you are like cohabitating with someone and connecting your life and trying to have a romantic connection with someone who's just making it miserable, so much worse. Okay, Miss Fox, I got you. You want to have a medium reading? So, yes, I never thought he was a great match for her. He's not a bad guy, but I believe my mom just deserves better and to really have a happy life. Yeah, it's like she just kind of settled, and I can't even tell you how much women are taught to do that, much more than men. Just saying. Just saying. Just saying. Not saying men don't do it too, because they do. I just think people in general are taught, like, well, it's better to have someone than to be alone. Like, but I feel like the younger generation is catching on that it's not true. I hope you guys are. You're welcome. Miss Fox, you want to do a medium reading. If you're doing a medium reading, then you just let me know. Is that what you want to do? You want to do a medium reading? Then you just let me know who you would like to talk to by your connection to them. But yeah, people can like chat about other things as I'm prepping for a reading. You're welcome, Nicolette. Nicolette. So when you are looking to talk to somebody who passed on, you would just say, "Oh, I want to talk to like my grandmother, my mother's side, or a best friend, or something like that," and we'll get going. So how it works, I don't know if you know how I work, is I really don't like names. I like to know the relationship to you. So if it's a relative, because this a medium reading, if are you looking to speak to someone who passed on? If you are, then you would say, it needs to be someone you had a connection to, someone you knew, or know at least, it, have a personal connection. It can't be like someone famous or something like that, unless they're obviously related to you. And that person is going to tell me how they passed and other things and details, and I'll connect you to that person. So you just let me know, like my grandmother, my mother's side, or a good friend, or a partner I used to have, his father, and my ex who passed away. Um, yeah, only one person. I'm only going to connect you with one person. So this is kind of confusing. Tony is his father, and my ex who passed away is whose father? That I'm confused. So only one person, or is this one person? Are you saying a father of your child or something? Um, so are you looking to speak to like one person? So these are little mini readings, and even in my long readings, I do one person at. So can you pick one person and just let me know how they're connected to you? Which I think you're saying is your ex and the father of your kid. I'm sorry, it's one person. Okay, so it's your ex and the father of a kid of yours. I'm assuming. Okay, your ex then, right? Okay. Okay, I'm going to jump in. Um I'm going to start with Carrie's cutting out. Carrie, I think you're saying Wi-Fi. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and Kira's? What's Kira's? What is that? Okay, I'm just going to go for it. Um I'm gonna start, and hopefully the chat will catch up. Hopefully. Okay, so let's see. Cutting out. Yeah, I know. Okay, I'm just gonna jump in. Okay, your ex. So the first thing I hear is that it's been difficult for him, or it was difficult for him. He's saying that he kind of saw that this was happening, and he was gonna pass, but he wasn't prepared for how fast it was happening. I feel like he keeps saying like everything started to happen really fast and kind of spun out of control. He's sorry that he had to leave so soon. He didn't expect it to happen that quick. Yeah, I feel like when I'm him, I'm holding on like by the, dear life, trying to hang on to this place, but I'm getting yanked and pulled. Like everything just started speeding up, and he started leaving this world much quicker than he planned. He's saying that he's sorry how things started to happen before he died, things between you and him. Um, I don't know. There's like a feeling of like he's saying like he felt angry about how things were going and resentful. I don't know. I feel like he keeps saying that he was fighting. That's the word I'm hearing. Like he was fighting, he was trying to stay here, he was trying to stay clear. Um, things were not working out like he planned. So he says that, so I don't know if this makes sense. And hopefully, if you can we just do the question instead? I don't really do a question. I don't really understand. That's an intuitive reading. You want to do an intuitive reading? I don't understand what you're saying. When I do a medium reading, I'm talking to someone who died, and they are the ones that tell me stuff. Intuitive readings are question about your life and the different things going on in your life. So I don't know if this is your first time getting a reading with me, but a medium reading is talking to someone who's passed on, and they want to go over things, and it's like visiting with someone, and it's not for questions about your life. If you want a question about your life, go ahead. So I'm just trying to be clear on what's happening, because it's kind of hard because I'm getting these little quick like chats. Is anyone else having problem with the chat? Is the chat just suck or what? Because I feel like I'm having problems with the chat tonight. Are you there? Is anybody there? Is anybody there? Um, feel like it's dragging. So I don't know what's happening. I just got here, not sure how the chat has been. Okay. Hi, Yvonne. Hi, Yvonne. Thanks for answering. It's been pretty terrible, to be honest. I'm not getting anybody's, the live keeps lagging a bit. Maybe theirs wasn't sped up all the way. Yeah, it keeps dragging. Uh, awesome. It's not dragging for you. Must be bored at home tonight. Everything looks fine to you. Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not getting this person. Yeah, people must be people it must be a slow night on the internet to come in this little tiny live that I'm doing to like troll me. And the funny thing is, I have too much of a thick skin to give a shit. I don't know what happened to Miss Fox here, right? I think so. Yeah. The best thing you do when you're dealing with, I wish I had that kind of time. I know, really. I wish I had that kind of time too, to just like troll people on the internet. It's people who obviously have nothing going on. For sure. Okay, Miss Fox, if we can't get this today, then um I'll keep you on the list and you'll be the first person next week. I don't know what's happened. I'm gonna, unless anyone else is wanting a reading. Yeah, I know it's like the rule for trolls, number one rule is to just move on. You know what I mean? And don't give it much energy because it's just to get a reaction. It's just easy. It's people who are bored, sometimes people who are lonely too, obviously. Um, I don't know, I completely lost her. So if she can hear me, I'll put you first for next week. I'll be here Tuesday. I think I will come back Tuesday at 7:30 instead of 7. I liked 7:30 better. And I have you on my list for the first person for next week because I don't know what happened. Um, I'm not getting their chat. So thank you guys. If this ever happens, don't worry. I will always make sure that I get you the following week. I'm trying to be consistent on here. I haven't decided if I want to be on TikTok because it's like the wild wild west over there. I don't know. Lives are kind of insane. I don't know. Thank you guys. Don't forget to catch this week's podcast, The House Medium. I hope you can listen to it. It was a really good episode. And if you go to my Instagram, I post all the things that I'm doing and providing. And hopefully, you guys will come to the Spirit Circle I'm doing on Sunday. If you have any questions about those things, you can go ahead and email me. I'm happy to get your emails at AdelaLavine at Gmail. And if you have any questions about the spiritual, it's going to be like kind of a fun little light thing. I will be. You're gonna be there? Okay, cool. Then I'll see you there. And those of you taking my ET class, I'll see you at the class as well. I am going to be bringing back the mediumship class, and I'm going to do a one-off class on dreams because I asked some people asked me, and I've been getting tons of emails about dreams, how to tell the difference between a dream and a visit, and an alien experience, like understanding and interpreting dreams. I think it will be a cool class. It will be a really light class. I'm really excited about that one. And it will be a one off. For those in the LA area, I'm planning another in person class, so look out for that too. Anyway, guys, I'll be back next week, and you always know where to catch me online. I'm so sorry, Miss Fox, but I have you on the list for next week. So I hopefully we'll get it together next time. Good night, everybody. Have a good night. See you soon.